So in this video we are going to see the loops concept here. What are the looping statements and what is mean by the loop, the definition of loop we'll see in this video. So first we will see what is the definition of looping. So looping is defined as a set of statements which are repeatedly executing for the certain number of times in a specific task. Okay, I'll write here definition. Looping is defined as a block of statements which are repeatedly executing certain number of times to do a specific task. So see here, looping is defined as a block of statements, means it is a block of statements, means block is nothing but it is an area where it contains all the statements which are repeatedly executing certain number of time to do a specific task. That means to do one task, the statement should be repeated continuously. So this block of statements will be repeated continuously. That means whenever it is necessary, we are going to repeat the statements to perform one task. Okay. So this is the definition of the looping statements. So what are the steps to be involved in defining the loop? Okay, we'll see the steps in the loop. In the loop. So first it should check the loop variable or condition variable. Or condition variable. So this is a variable used in the loop to evaluate the expressions. Okay. Next one is the initialization. We all know that what is mean by the initialization. This is the step in which starting value or final value are assigned to the loop. So starting value and also the ending value are assigned to the loop variable. Okay, that is nothing but the initialization. Next one is the test condition. So next one is a test condition. It is going to check the condition to terminate the loop. Okay, test condition going to check the terminating of the loop. When the loop going to be terminated, all this comes under test condition. Okay. Next, increment and decrement. Okay, means to increment the numerical added to be added or subtracted to the loop variable are to be shown in the increment and decrement. So whenever if you want to increase the values of the variable, then we can use the increment. If you want to subtract the values from the variable, we can use the decrement to the variable. So these are the steps you have to follow. First you have to write the loop condition or loop variable. Then after writing the loop, first you have to initialize. Then you have to write the test conditions. Then afterwards you have to write the increment and decrement options. So in this loop statements we are having some types. So we are having 3 types of looping statements here. So what are them? We'll write here. So types of loops. Okay, first one is while loop. Second one is do while. and third one is for loop. So these are the three loops. These are the three loops which we are using. We will see one by one in detail. The first loop we are seeing is while loop. So what is mean by an while loop? In a while loop, it is the simplest looping structure in the C. While loop is the simplest looping structure, and it is also called as entry controlled loop. So why we are going to call a while loop as entry controlled loop means it will control the number of loop statements. Okay. We will see the syntax of the while loop. First, initial statement, next while, test condition. So in the place of while we are same like if we are writing condition, in the similar way we are writing the while and the test condition. If this test condition is true, it will execute the statements. If this test condition is true, it will execute the statements, or else it will execute the other statements. Okay. So mainly in the while loop, if the while test condition is true, then only it will execute the statement, or else it will not execute the statement which we are writing below the while loop. It will execute the other statements we are writing in the next below the block. Okay. So we will see the flow chart for this while loop. First, beginning and entry of the loop. Next, we are checking the condition for the loop. If this condition is true, then it will execute the statement. If the condition is false, it will execute the other statements. So simple. If the condition is true, it will execute the statements, or else it will execute the other statement. It will not execute these statements if it is false. If this condition is false, it will not execute this statement. It will execute the other statement. Okay. This is about the while loop. While loop is a simple looping structure, and we are calling it as entry controlled loop. And the syntax is, first we are writing the initial statement condition, next while, test conditions. If this test condition is true, then it will execute these statements. So these all are the statements. This block completely comes under the statement for the while block. If this it is true, it will execute these statements, or else if it is false, then it will execute the other statements in the loop. Okay. Next we'll see the what is mean by the do while statement. So we have already seen what is mean by the while statement, loop statement. Next we are seeing second one is the do while statement. So what is the purpose of do while loop in the statements is, so if you want to execute the statements, so I'll write here 1 minute. If it is necessary to execute the body of the loop before the test condition, is performed, then we'll use do while statement, do while loop. So we have the test condition as well as body for the while loop also. So if you want to execute the body of the loop first, and then afterwards you want to execute the test condition, so in that cases we'll use the do while statement. So in the do while statement, first the body of the loop get executed, then after the test condition which we are writing in the while loop. Okay, I'll write the syntax here so that it will be clear for you. First, same like while, initial condition, initial statement. First do statement. This is the body of the statement. Update statement. While test condition. Next statement. Okay, see here. First initial statement, first in the do, this is the body. This is the condition, test condition. In the do while, first it will execute the body, then only it will test the conditions. So where we want, it is necessary to execute the body first, then afterwards it is going to test the condition. At that cases we'll use the do while statement. Okay, clear? This is a flow chart for the do while statement. First take the initial statement, next the do while loop, then this is the body. Next it will check the condition. If this condition is true, then it will execute the while statement. If it is false, suppose this condition is false, then it will execute the next statement in the loop. Okay, first mainly you have to remember in the do while is first it will execute the body of the statement, then it will execute the loop conditions. Okay, next loop we are seeing is an for loop. So for loop is very useful loop in the C programming languages. Okay, this is a control structure and we will call it as entry controlled loop also. Okay, mainly this for loop can be written in a syntax called for. First one we are writing the three expressions here. Initialization separated with the semicolon, test condition separated with the semicolon, next increment and decrement. So these are the three expressions, expression 1, expression 2 and expression 3. These are the three expressions we are using in the for loop. If this condition, first it will initialize, next will write the condition. After performing the condition for the statements, then it will perform the increment and decrement operators. That is variable addition or variable subtraction. So it will execute the statements here if this condition is true, or else it will execute the next condition if this false. If this for loop is false, then it will execute these statements. If this condition is true, then it will execute the statements below the for loop. Okay, this is the syntax for the for loop. Next we'll see the flow chart for the for loop. So see here, first initialization expression, same, we have three expressions in the for loop. First one is the initialization, next one is the test condition, and third one is the increment and decrement operators. Okay, first initialization expression, then it will check the condition. If this condition is true, second one it will check, that is the test condition. If this condition is true, then it will execute the body of the loop and it will update the expression. If suppose this condition is false, then it will go to the next statement, or if the next statement is not available, it will come out of the loop at the same time. Okay, after performing this function, that is initialization, this whole is the test condition, it will increment the value by I plus plus or I minus. These are the expression we are using for the increment or decrement. Okay, this is the increment, plus plus is increment, minus minus is the decrement. So this all the flow chart for the for loop.